Hi, my name is Marcus and most welcome to my Learning German blog. And today we will talk about the present tense in the German language. But before we start, I want to remember that if you watch the video until the end, I will have a little surprise for you. Ich lerne Deutsch. This is a sentence in present tense in German. I use colors because in my online courses I use also colors to see grammar, and if you want to check out more about my courses, please look in the description. Green means nominative and blue would be accusative. Okay, there's one good news because in German we have just one present tense. So in English you could say I learn German or I am learning German. That would be Ich lerne gerade Deutsch. I learn in this moment, right now, German. So actually it's the same present tense. Ich lerne. Okay, so let's get started with regelmäßige Verben, with the regular verbs in German. But first, let's have our verb lernen, and we need some subjects. Subject means our pronouns. How do you say I in German? Okay, we already saw it. Ich. You would be du. Er, es, sie. He, it, she. So we have three genders in German, so we have also three pronouns. We would be wir in plural. Ihr would be you guys, okay? And we have sie and sie. One is capitalized, that means I talk in a formal way to somebody directly. It could be one person or more persons. So, and sie, this one, would be they. Okay. I marked it also in green because I used the same color for nominative, and it's a subject, and our subject has an influence to our ending. So it depends on the person which endings we will use. But the root of the verb lernen will stay the same. So now we have to see which endings we have for each pronoun. So let's see it. First, ich lerne. So the ending, it's an I. Okay? Ich lerne. Du lernst. There's an ST. Du lernst. Er, es, sie, for all three it's the same. It would be er lernt. Es lernt, sie lernt. In plural, we will have wir lernen, ihr lernt, sie oder sie lernen. Okay, those are our endings for every pronoun. And if you see, we have est, t, en, ten. So there's a repetition, no? Ten, ten. Okay. So some verbs, some regular verbs, maybe they end in their root in an t, like warten. Warten is to wait. Okay, warten. Maybe there also would be a d here. Okay. In this case, for ich, there's no problem. You say ich warte. If you have du, there we get a little problem because du wartest, because the root ends in a T. And if you add ST, it's hard to pronounce. And so we just add a separator, and that would be the I. So you say du wartest. Same thing here, er wartet. No? Because you cannot pronounce the double T. So one is from the root and one is the ending. So ihr wartet. And then actually in wir, no problem. Wir warten. Ihr wartet, the same problem like here, ihr wartet, and sie warten. So remember, no, if you have a T or a D in the end of the root of the word, or before the ending, then in this three pronouns we have to add an E, like a separator. There's another thing, reisen, it's to travel. Here we have an S at the end of the root. Now, what you see, all the verbs actually in German end in en, so that's an infinitive. With ich, well, easy, ich reise, but here is a problem. Du reist. We have the es, and if we add another s, it doesn't make sense. So we add just a t. So in this case, du reist. And the rest, it's just like regular. Er reist, wir reisen, ihr reist, und sie reisen. Just be careful here. It's still a regular verb, but because of this s, we just add an t. Okay? But unfortunately, like in most languages, we have some irregular verbs, unregelmäßige Verben. Okay? And we have actually 3 different groups. So let's see our first group. One example, geben. Geben is to give. In first person, it would be regular. Ich gebe. No problem at all. Ich gebe. But then, in du and er, es, sie, there it will be irregular. So let's see how it is. Du, So that means when it's irregular here, the plural would be regular. So actually we say wir geben, ihr gebt, sie geben. So no problem. Perfect. So just irregular with du and er, es, sie. With du, it would be du gibst. Though there is a change in the root, for this reason it's irregular. Okay, so there's a change from I to I. Du gibst. But the ending, it's the same ending like every time. And here it's the same, er gibt. Same ending, but there's the change from I to I. Let's see the second group. Sehen. Sehen is to see. Same thing. Ich sehe, regular. Wir sehen, ihr seht, sie sehen, regular. But here there's a change. And here actually the change is from an I to an IE. Du siehst, same ending. Er sieht, same ending. Okay? But there's a change in the root. And there's a third group, fahren. Fahren is to drive. And here, ich fahre, wir fahren, ihr fahrt, sie fahren, regular, just irregular. Du fährst, er fährt. There's a change from the A to A umlaut. In German it's called A umlaut with the dots. No? And it's pronounced like a really open I. No? Say du fährst, er fährt. Okay, so we have regular verbs, we have irregulars in German. Just remember, irregular just in second and third person in singular. Okay, but like as always, there are some super unregelmäßige Verben, some really irregular verbs. And the most important verb in German is actually the verb sein, to be. And this is super unregelmäßig. You say, ich bin, du bist, er, es, sie ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. So we have to just to remember those words, but we use it that often, so it's easy to remember this in the end because we get a lot of repetition. So, and there's another one, haben. Haben is to have. And here actually, ich habe is regular. It's just irregular in second and third person. And here, the be disappears. So, du hast. Und er hat. It's not er habt, just er hat. And plural, it's just regular. Haben, habt, haben. Okay. And there's another auxiliary verb. It's called werden. It's used for the future tense. It's also quite irregular because in first person, ich werde, no problem. But then it's irregular. Du wirst, er wird. So quite a change there. Okay. But in plural, it's regular again. Werden, werdet, werden. No? Wir werden, ihr werdet, sie werden. And one more group for today. It's the modal verbs, die Modalverben. It's like when I say, I want to speak German, I must speak German, I can speak German, no? Things like this. It's a modal verb. So let's see one example. Wollen is to want to. And this is actually a special group. It will be irregular for everything in singular. And so I would say, ich will. And actually there's no I in the end. No? There's no ending for this one. Ich will. Second person, du willst. No? There we have the ST, and you see the O, the root changes to an I. And third person, will, would be the same like ich will, will, no ending. And plural, it's regular again. Wir wollen, no? Same root. Ihr wollt und sie wollen. If you see the next modal verb like can, or to be able to, können, it will do the same. Ich kann, no ending, but there's a change in the root from O umlaut to an A. And then du kannst. Kann, and plural, it's regular. Wir können, ihr könnt, sie können. Let's see one more example. Let's say müssen, must. Here we have ich muss. No, there's a change from U umlaut to U. Du musst. Here we have a problem with the S, so it's just we add in T. Muss, no, ich muss, muss, it's the same. And then it's regular. Wir müssen, ihr müsst und sie müssen. A lot of information. I will add you in the description of the video 2 slides like an overview, and so you can print them out if you like to, or you can save it to your computer. So if you have any problems, you can check this table. So just remember, we have regular, irregular verbs and some super irregular verbs, and the modal verbs, they build their own group. Okay. Like I told you, I have a little surprise in the end for you. Normally I do a magic trick. This is a kind of riddle. So I have a question for you. No, we have 5 plus 5 plus 5 ist gleich 550. No, obviously that's not true. So please, how could you make it true if you add just one line to this equation? And it's not this line to say this one. That's not one. So please pause the video, think about it, and then I will show you the solution. So I give you 5 seconds to pause the video. And then, okay, so I will show you the solution. The solution is so easy, you will see it now. We add the line here. So 545 plus 5 is gleich 550. Now it's true. So maybe you can test your friends. If somebody knows it, maybe you win a beer when you have a little bet with them. Okay, that's everything for me. If you want to check more material, you can go to my website. You can read in the description. There are more links about more content. And please leave a comment if you like to. I will answer to everybody. I wish you a nice day, and I will see you soon with more content and with more explanations about learning German. Okay, bye bye, tschüss.